When it comes to health, many times we feel that the answers are complicated, but
Right.
actually, quite the opposite is true. The answer to health is quite simple.
Yeah, I love talking about topics like we're going to talk about today, right?
Yes.
Which is grounding.
Yeah.
So easy to do, completely free, and has a wide range of benefits. We're only going to touch on a few that are so beneficial. So it's called grounding or
Yeah.
earthing. They're interchangeable.
I feel like it's a new topic, right? Has been discussed. I mean, we you see it,
Yeah,
um, but I feel like many times we just kind of pass over it. Oh yeah, yeah, I know what it
right.
means.
But do you actually know what it does to your body?
Exactly.
What it does for your mind,
Yeah.
right? So it's funny you mentioned, and it's true that for a lot of us, the topic of grounding, we've heard about it but don't know so much about it, and for others, it's completely new.
Right.
But with grounding, it's actually been around in practice for thousands of years.
I love when we discover things like
Yes.
this, or actually not discover when we bring them back
Hmm.
into our culture, the modern culture of today.
Right. So what does grounding simply mean? Just making contact with the bare earth, usually by your feet
Yeah.
or even just kind of laying down, like whether it's on sand. So it has to be natural earth, it has to be dirt or like a natural rock, grass, sand,
Yeah.
natural body of water if you're swimming in it. So all of that are just making contact. So there's no break in between our skin, our body, and the earth, right?
That's actually, I mean, I love talking about this because it makes me need to make it to the lake
Yes.
or go to the beach. Like, of course, we all enjoy going to the lake and the beach, but when you know that there is a huge
It
benefit,
actually benefits. Yeah,
yes, then
absolutely.
it kind of gives you an
Yeah, you got to
excuse to go
go.
quite
Doctor
often.
said. um, so you can do it outdoors or indoors. That's something that I guess the modern lifestyle kind of touched upon. So we're just going to name a few things, some indoor examples of earthing or grounding. They have what are called earthing mats, earthing bands, even earthing beds. We're not going to get into that. If that interests you, by all means, jump into it, look it up on your own. However, today we're going to spend our time speaking about the outdoor part, right?
Yes, for sure.
So it's both simple and so effective. And again, as I mentioned earlier, I just love it because it's so effective. It's completely free, so easy to do, right?
Yes, and the benefits are enormous.
Hmm. Absolutely. So your body actually runs through a type of electrical current. I remember the first time I learned about that, I was like, what? I thought it was all like chemical messengers, which it is,
Yeah.
but I didn't know there was an electronic component. At least I didn't. Maybe you did.
Yeah.
However, for those of you that don't know, you actually run through a type of electricity, right? So the Earth's surface has an unlimited amount of this electricity.
Available to all of us.
Yeah. So electrons, negative charge, basically, right? So it's constantly emitting like an electronic charge, right?
Yeah.
Electric,
Yeah.
negative electronic charge. So when you're walking on it, or say you're laying with your on your body, say you're at the beach and laying on the sand, you're actually absorbing the negative charge through the contact.
Yep.
So that's kind of just to give you an idea of how the type of process and kind of what's going on.
Well, in the modern culture of today, now we're seeing water shoes. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
even little kids have water shoes. There's this trend going around that these young adults are wearing sneakers on the beach. I mean, there's people are sitting on beach chairs, loungers. Nobody's sitting on sand. And
Yeah.
yes, it's fun to buy all of those beach accessories and look cute, but have you tried just sitting on sand? I love sitting. Our children love sitting and playing and just touching the sand with their hands.
So the
And
problem
just
with the rubber soles, even on a day-to-day walk, like even I think it was 60 plus years ago, most people walked with like leather soled
yes,
shoes. The problem with the rubber is that it disconnects us from the contact of the natural energy
yeah,
flowing, electricity flowing from the earth.
yeah.
Sorry, I just
It
wanted to
just
mention that.
negates. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to say that there is something. I
So we
mean,
get a positive charge building up
yeah,
because we're not coming into contact with the earth.
yeah. I grew up. We had a lake nearby. I didn't have a
Yeah.
beach, but I just remember enjoying walking barefoot. If it was deep in the woods, the dirt was quite cold and it felt so good, even
Right.
when it was colder outside. But there was just something about it, like sitting on dirt, sitting, walking barefoot. I didn't know as a child what it does to me, but I just knew that it felt good. Same thing with the beach as a kid. It just feels so good to just, even now,
To play
last
with
time
the
we were at the beach,
sand.
I just love playing with the sand, just touching it with my hands, touching it with my feet. I sit on sand. It doesn't matter. It washes off,
Yeah.
right? Just take a shower.
Yeah.
But definitely, not only scientifically what it does to you, you will definitely immediately feel
Yeah.
different. You will feel the difference.
So one interesting thing I found out is grounding expert Clint Ober, he actually stated that as far as your body goes, everything is electrical first, then chemical second. That I had no idea about. I know sometimes there's a discussion about which first, which is second,
Yes.
but nonetheless. So for example, your brain, your heart, as well as the neurotransmitter activity, it all depends on electrical charge. So if your body runs through a type of electricity, what happens when you're not getting connected or not getting connected enough to Earth, right? And then your electricity is off.
So everything goes out
So
of
everything
whack.
else goes off and out of whack. Exactly. And
So your body's not functioning the way it was designed to function.
Mhm.
So you start developing.
There's a
health
reason why
problems.
the Earth is emitting this electricity
Yeah.
and why we need to be grounded. That's why the name
Right.
came from, right?
Well, that was interesting. You mentioned something about the animals in the wild.
Yes. So this grounding expert also brought up a good point as to where he mentioned that there's no inflammation in the wild animals, right? Animals in the
It's
wild.
insane.
There's also no cancer. Cancer is non-existent in animals that are living in the wild. So on the flip side of this, the other interesting thing he mentioned is that, say you have a dog and they're living with a human, right? Living with their
Right.
master. Now, the animals that are living indoors with their masters, with their owners, are having the same amount, the same rate of cancers as adults,
Wow.
as humans.
Wow.
When left in the wild, it's non-existent.
Well, that makes sense because the way I grew up, lots of people had farms, right? So
Mhm.
our dogs were not inside the house. That was
Mhm.
just not something that we did. So all of the dogs that we had, they were all outside on a few acres of land. And we had, I don't know, those dogs lived forever. Nobody counted
Growing
the
up,
years, but growing up,
any of
it's
your
like,
dogs died from cancer?
no,
Now it's like you could
so
almost
common.
know, yeah, know
So
someone
common.
whose pet at least died from some
And they're
type of cancer.
indoors, and
Yeah.
a lot of people, especially in Arizona where we used to live,
Yeah.
people would put those dog shoes, because it's hot outside.
Sure.
I get it, but then the dogs, they get used to wearing those shoes, and now they
Mhm.
don't want to go outside with the
Right.
shoes.
So you think you're doing something good, but at the end, it's actually hurting them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the benefits. So some of the benefits, as you mentioned just before, as far as the animals in the wild not having any inflammation.
Yeah.
So that reduces inflammation.
But inflammation is the cause of
Yeah.
the root cause of most sickness and disease.
Chronic illnesses.
Today.
Absolutely.
Everything starts
Mhm.
with inflammation. So can you imagine eliminating that inflammation completely out of your body just simply by grounding?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It also increases circulation in your body. So because your blood flow is circulating a lot easier and better, you're getting more of an energy boost.
Yeah.
Because everything is functioning and flowing properly.
So no need for caffeinated energy drinks.
Right.
Spend some time outside, ground yourself, and
right.
boost your energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also scientifically proven to give you a better night's sleep.
We all need that.
We all need that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
for sure.
It reduces stress hormones. Again, these are all scientifically backed proof, right? It reduces stress hormones. Who doesn't need that? Especially this day and age, right?
Yes.
It's proven to relieve pain. They've done studies with patients with having autoimmune diseases, having rheumatoid arthritis, and because it has that anti-inflammatory effect on the body, it can reduce pain a whole lot.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Increases your heart health, actually, as we mentioned earlier, also that it's electrical as well. Increases heart health, but it also decreases blood viscosity.
Wow.
So could you imagine that decreasing your blood viscosity, not having to rely on, as many patients are relying on blood thinners, especially the older they get. Like
Mhm.
all of that is not being addressed, the root cause of so much inflammation. I
Yeah.
just get excited talking about this kind of stuff because again, it's free. It's
Yeah.
so simple to do and it benefits you in
Yes.
so many ways. As you
Yes.
as you started out earlier, a lot of times we try to think that it needs to be complicated
Yeah.
when it's simple. Eat healthy and live healthy, you'll live a healthy
Yeah.
life.
Well, it's interesting as you were mentioning these things. I was just thinking about the blue zones in the world, right? As
Right?
you look at the map of these blue zones, all of them
All or
All
most,
or
I forgot
most
exactly.
are on the beach, like beach coastal.
Next to a body, coastal, yeah.
And when you think about what do those people do? Like we have family living by the coast. I mean, they're on the beach.
Yeah.
They're walking
Without water shoes.
without water shoes.
Yeah.
They're walking. So by you spending time on the beach, by you spending time outdoors, barefoot, obviously if I had a beach in my backyard, I would be on the beach daily, right? Most of the days.
Right.
So just to think that because of that, they're the blue zones, people there live way longer. I'm sure there's other practices too, but
that's one that's incorporated,
yes,
of course.
Yes,
yeah,
for sure.
Knowing and unknowing.
Yeah.
So the great thing is that there's not such a thing as grounding too much.
Right.
You can't overdo it.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the more you do it, the longer you do it daily, the better benefits you.
Is there a minimum?
So try to get at least 30 minutes if you can per day, and consistency is important.
Yeah.
Even if you can't do it all at once, even
Yeah.
if you say you go to get the mail, go to the mailbox. If you're able to, if you have dirt, grass, or whatnot, walk barefoot there.
Yeah.
Just try to add it wherever
Yeah.
you can. Say you garden. If you're able to have a garden like we do, go barefoot.
Yep.
Walk on your grass
Yeah.
barefoot, walk on the dirt barefoot, any rock or whatnot. So it's so beneficial, so easy, so impactful, especially the longer you do it daily and the longer you do it as far as weeks, months, and years go. The benefits just continue to increase.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's not something that we've been practicing for a long time, but it's just something. I mean, I grew up with it and then pulled away from it, living in a
Modern
city,
lifestyle,
right?
yeah.
All of that. But it's just definitely something that we're going to incorporate, and we think you guys should as well, because
Absolutely.
like we've mentioned, the benefits are enormous. And for me, the inflammation part is the biggest, because I believe that inflammation,
common denominator for so much.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So this was amazing. Yeah. So go out there. We mentioned in one of our videos that it's very beneficial for you guys to walk a few times a day. We do 3 10-minute walks at least.
Minimum after each meal.
Daily.
Yeah.
But we also try to eat to walk a little bit after each meal, and we do have a garden, like Marco mentioned. We do have a garden, so try to go out after each meal. Hopefully, you can do it barefoot in your yard and just accomplish 2 things at
Try
once.
it for some time and you'll see.
Yeah. So there you have it. Go out barefoot, walk. Doesn't matter if you look weird. And we'll see you guys on the next episode of Healthy Family Talks. Love you. Ciao.
Take care.